What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Threesome Show. I am Don, and this is my host, well, the host, my co-host, Bridget. What's going on, Bridge?
What's up?
I'm chilling. So I guess before we jump into everything, unfortunately, this week we got to do some rest in peace shout outs. We've had a crazy daggone week. Rich Homie Quan, rest in peace. James Earl Jones, rest in peace, and Frankie Beverly from Frankie Beverly and Maze, rest in peace. Um, Hopefully, we don't have to do that too damn often.
Yeah.
We continuing with Self Care September this week, but we'll jump into that a little while later. But this week we gonna talk about women submitting to your man, and I know this is not gonna go well for me, so I'm gonna shut the hell up tonight. Um, when should a woman submit to? When should a woman allow herself to submit to a man? That's huge. That's huge. Have you ever submitted to a
Hmm. Uh,
man?
yes. I feel like I naturally submit to a man when he's like showing leadership skills. Um,
Okay.
Now if I feel like I can't trust his judgment, um, if I feel like if he's not displaying signs of like being a man, then I wouldn't look at him as such, where I would put my guard down. But I feel like I naturally submit when I feel like a man is acting like a man. But if a man is like, we talked about this before, like matching women's energy. Like if I got an attitude and you want to have an attitude because I got an attitude, then no, I'm not going to be
Right.
submissive. I'm probably going to be very dominant, talking shit, disrespectful. You know.
So a lot of women have a problem with the word submit. Um,
Mhm.
and I think it's because they mix up submitting to a man with becoming subservient.
Mhm.
Is the difference. So you can definitely submit to a man, like allow him to take the lead without being subservient. You can still have your own mind. You can still speak your mind.
Mhm.
Um, no, nobody wants, at least I don't want a woman that's just gonna shut the fuck up. Like I want somebody who's gonna say what's on their mind and not be totally controlled. But you can do that and still allow yourself to submit.
Right.
Um, as a man, I would definitely say there's been times when I've been in a relationship and I thought that that role would just automatically be given to me. I'm the man. That's just who I am, and you're supposed to submit to me. But um, over the years, I found that just like you said, if a man does not put himself in that position and does not show himself to be worthy of that position,
Mhm.
then you really can't expect a woman to submit.
Yeah.
Um, so just because you're a man, guys, just because you're a man, don't mean you the man.
Right.
Um, and I don't mind a woman that's strong, that's strong minded. I don't mind a woman that has a head on her shoulders and knows what direction she wants to go.
But sorry, not to cut you off.
Nah, cut
Submission,
me
I
off.
feel like submission has nothing to do with the woman being strong minded. It has everything to do with you, what you're displaying as a man. That is the determination of us submitting to y'all. I don't think it has
Okay.
nothing to do with how strong we are. Like, oh, I'm strong, so like no, because I feel like if you showing leadership skills, that's enough for us to be like, all right, it's not about us like wanting to be strong. We feel like we let our guard down when we're in the presence of a man, just
As you
naturally.
should.
Yeah, just naturally. Like it's really nothing. It's nothing on our part. It's what y'all are showing us.
Mm. So you don't think that a woman has to kind of allow herself to be under him as far as, submitting to him?
I feel like yes, I do feel like some women, I feel like, so, both men and women have feminine and dominant traits. I feel like in today's world, sorry to say this, but men have become such a disappointment that women,
God
it's
dang.
the truth. Your motherfuckers are disappointing, okay? Um, they have been so disappointing, especially when I feel like when it comes to the black community, that black women have had nothing, can't do anything but be strong and play the role of the man and the woman. You know, most of these men can't even do shit that men should be able to do. Can't
Right.
hang shit on the wall, can't fucking change a tire, can't do a damn oil change, like some shit that
Ooh.
it's like, you know. So I just feel like some women, and I think we talked about this before, they they have been in their dominance, they're operating in their dominance so much that, yeah, even if they do come around a man, they still want to control everything. So yes, it is possible for a woman to not allow, but I feel like if it's not something that's natural, I feel like it's because she don't trust his judgment. If she's still trying to control the situation, or when it comes to everything that y'all do as a couple, I feel like it's because she's not trusting your judgment. And that's not to say like, oh, it's all the male's fault, because women sometimes need to be told, like, let him be a man. Why are you laughing?
No, because for one, you're preaching. And
Okay.
you don't get on the air and preach too often. When you start preaching, I just gotta be like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
yeah,
like things,
go.
I feel like, I don't know, like, I just feel like, don't get me wrong, when a man and a woman, you in a relationship, y'all both gonna feed off of each other. Y'all both gonna teach each other. Y'all both gonna learn off of each other. But if it just become where it's like, babe, how I do this? Can you apply for my jobs? Can you fill out my job applications?
Oh hell
Like,
no.
these are just
Yeah.
examples. You know what I'm saying? If it just comes to where it's like you're feeling like the mother, you're not gonna feel like you could submit, because at that point it's like you're taking leadership when it comes to majority of the things that it's like he can't even do for himself, things that he should be able to do for himself. Um, but yes, I do feel like some women do need to work on not operating in their masculinity, because I see women that do it all the time, and then they sit there and be on
Mhm.
social media like, these men ain't shit, they bums, they this, they that. Like, yeah, of course, it's a lot of them out here. A lot of them out here going to try to come to you, but at the same time, it's a reason why you keep attracting the same type of man, and maybe because you're not acting feminine at all. Like, I could easily say the same thing. I just said it. I'm like, man, I be feeling like men is disappointing, but you don't see me out here acting. Now, I'm not gonna say I didn't in the past, but that's one thing I wanted to work on as a woman, is acting more feminine. Even when I wanted to be like, y'all niggas ain't shit. Y'all this, y'all that. Like, but I'm like, no, let me conduct myself like a woman. Let me be more
Mhm.
reserved. Because I know that I'm not gonna attract the type of man that I want out here, matching the energy of these fuck ass niggas. Like, and I feel like some women, like, they just so used to dealing with fuck ass niggas that they start acting on them their damn self. Um, and men, it's like if they wanted a man, that's what they would go for. So it's like, as a woman, you can't really be carrying yourself as a man. And even me, like, cursing and stuff like that, that's to me natural, because my mother cursed a lot. But it's like, so I do try to operate different how I used to operate. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I post me driving around a car, I'll post like some hood ass fucking music. I'll be like, no, let me play some fucking R&B or some shit. I post it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just a way you gotta try to operate more in your feminine as a woman. And I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like regardless, because I know I can be dominant at times, and I know I'm very feminine. I feel like, I'm really like equally, but it's like anytime I come in the presence of a real man, I could shut that dominance straight down, with no hesitation.
I think for women, and I'm not gonna beat up on y'all, but I am gonna I'm gonna talk to y'all for a moment.
Hmm.
Um, Women don't know when to just let some shit go. As far as the man, let the
Hmm.
man go.
Yeah.
If you put him in a position where okay, you make the decisions, and he starts messing up, you can't train him. That's
Yeah.
not your job. You know what I'm saying? It's not for you to teach him how to be a man.
Right.
Either he's going to be or he's not going to be. And if he's not going to be, if he can't be, it's not your job to be his mother, and it's not your job to train him how to be a man. You can't do it. You can't raise that motherfucker.
Right.
So sometimes, yeah, everything else might be great. Oh, we have great talks and our sex life is great. But if he can't lead you as
Hmm.
a man should, let him go.
Yeah.
Let his ass the fuck go. And
Yeah.
I'm not beating up on men either, but too many men are wearing skirts these days.
Yeah.
And yeah, I said it. Fuck it. Too many men are taking the feminine role and they're allowing their woman to handle, control, and make all of the decisions and allowing all of that shit to be on her shoulders.
Yeah.
So if a man puts you in that position, that may be the dude that is not for you.
Yeah. I feel like, like I don't know how you feel about some people driving. Some people can't drive for shit, and you got some
Mm-hmm.
people that's good as drivers. Like me, I never really trusted people to drive me nowhere. It's only really one person, which is my older sister, that I feel like I can get in a car and I could go to sleep. And I feel like that's how people should feel when you're choosing like a man. If you can't
Agree.
trust him with your eyes closed, then what the fuck is he your man for? You know?
Agree.
And that's just
Agree.
how I feel.
You said that shit best. Yeah, if exactly. If you can't close your eyes and know that my relationship is going to be good, the house is going to be good,
Yep.
I don't have to worry about the bills being paid. If you can't close your eyes and allow that shit to happen, that's not the guy for you.
Yeah.
And yes, he might grow up later on. He might grow up for somebody else. And he
Yeah.
may just find a way for him to grow up on his own. And he may be great for the next woman. But don't let him ruin
Right.
your life. Don't be his test dummy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you can't, like you said, if you can't close your eyes,
And trust
then
him to lead the way.
exactly. He ain't gonna wrap y'all around a fucking tree. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, because what I've seen, especially since I left New York, um, and I lived down south for a while. A lot of women down south want to be motherly, like they want to mother. So it's not like they want to be in control of everything, but they want to be the mom.
Hmm.
So they're okay with the man not knowing certain things or not
Yeah.
knowing how to do certain things.
Yeah.
Um, and like in what I experienced in when I was in New York was, and even to not I won't even say to a certain extent in Baltimore, because Baltimore women are very strong-minded and opinionated, um, but that's not a bad thing
Yeah.
when you're by yourself. But if the guy comes along and it's like, okay, I still gotta be this. I gotta teach him how to, like you said, fill out a job application. Who the fuck? If you can't fill
Yeah.
out a job application in my book, you're not a man.
Right. I feel,
It,
I feel like it's a huge difference between being a man's mom and being a natural nurturer to your man. I
mm-hmm.
feel like you can nurture your man. You can give him a back massage. You can make him some food. You can reassure him and let him know how much you love him. Those is all different types of ways of nurturing a man. But if it's like something simple as far as like um him actually taking action to elevate himself, like you can give him information, but if he's not doing it himself, you know it shows like he lacks like the willingness to want to elevate, you know. So I just feel like I one thing I will not do, I do not have the patience to be a man's mother. I don't. Um I feel like I played that role too much in my past. At this point, I feel like I need a leader. Like if I meet someone, I want a leader. That's not to say that I'm not gonna nurture you, because I am. I love to nurture. You know, like that means take care of you. You know, if you're sick, I'm gonna take care of you. All of that stuff. But I'm not gonna be your mother where I'm like gonna coddle you and do everything for you to help make you a man. Like, no, you have to want to be a man of your own.
See, it's okay to be a man's support. And yes, it is definitely right to be a man's piece. But there's a difference between being somebody's support system and taking a leadership role in their life.
Yeah.
Not to get all biblical and stuff, because if anybody knows me, I talk shit. But even in the Bible, it says God sent him a helpmate.
Mm-hmm.
Help mate. God didn't say, okay, I'm sending you somebody to take over because clearly you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
He was like, nah, I'm gonna send somebody to help you out.
Yeah.
And I watch all of the different things on social media about, where social media will try to come down on the women. Oh, be his peace, and the world is beating up on him enough. But he has to first stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the world is beating on him, if he stands up and you see that that's an upright man, you're not going to have a problem with sitting by his side.
Yeah.
But if you got to stand up for him,
Mm-hmm.
it's only going to make you feel as if the old adage, I can do bad by myself. Shit, like
Yeah.
if I'm a struggle, I can struggle by my damn self. I can pay
Right.
my own bills and not have to feed an extra motherfucker in my house.
Right.
So, and especially when you have children by men, because what they see him do, they're only going to emulate. So if they see that he has no what's the word I'm looking for? If they see that he can't take over for himself or stand up for himself, then they're going to grow up with the same mindset,
Right.
unless the woman is just so in their ear, like, don't be nothing like your damn daddy.
Yeah.
And a woman shouldn't have to do that. Like, she shouldn't have to downplay the
Mm-hmm.
man in front of his children. But ladies, be careful who the hell you lay down with, because it only takes one time to lay down to have a child. So see all of these things before, you know what I'm saying, you start reproducing with them. But
Yeah.
no, I totally agree with you. Um, and like I said, I used to always think that when I get into a relationship, I'm the man. I'm supposed to be the man. I'm the man.
Mm-hmm.
But I never realized, okay, you have to do all of the things to show that you're the man first.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are a man. You know what I'm saying? You have all of the body parts that make you a man. That does not make you the man. That does not make you the head of the household.
Yeah.
So yeah, nah, like when I tell you, you preaching tonight, but you're preaching hopefully for the women who are listening.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the women who are saying, you know what, maybe this guy's not right for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's a good guy, but he's just not my good guy. And eventually he'll be a better guy. But I can't wait.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't let the house fall down around me and wait for him to grow the hell up.
Yep.
And that's when you gotta cut that nigga off. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we're teetering, I guess, one and two. I want the ladies to join. I hope Angie stayed on board, Nikel, because when I read what this young lady is asking, I can only give my viewpoint from a man. But I want the ladies to talk about it. So I guess we'll do that before we get into the self care. And yes, we're continuing self care September. Hopefully, everybody did something within the last week to take care of themselves just to detox and take care of you. Because if you're broken, then it don't matter how much that man want to take the lead. If you're broken and you're not taking care of yourself, there's not too much he can do to fix you. It's called self care. It's not
Yeah.
called my man caring for me. Um, and that's the time when he can only be a support system to you. He
Yeah.
can't, he can't rebuild you. So we're gonna definitely talk about self care. We're gonna talk about mental self care tonight. But before we jump into that, and I don't even know if we're truly done with this women submitting um, for the night, because I think more women need to hear everything that you said, and I hope that if anybody just joins, or if they watch the show later on, that they pay attention to what you said, because it's simple to say I have a man, but it's not simple to say I have a man who's going to lead me.
Right.
Um, and I think in this day and age, especially the 30, probably 30 and ups,
Mm.
oh, I need to have a man. You know what I'm saying? I need a man. I need to have a man. No, you need the right man.
Right.
Just having a man is cute. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Yeah, you got somebody to hold hands with when you're walking through the grocery store and all that. That's cute. That's real nice. But if y'all can't move forward, if y'all can't move down the road together, and if
Mm-hmm.
he can't lead you down the road, get another man because
Yeah.
that's not the man. All right, so this young lady, um, and we kind of touched on this on a previous show. I'm having to enlarge because I'm not wearing my glasses, and yes, I am 50, so I got to enlarge it on the screen. um, she states, "I love my current boyfriend a lot. Just in terms of our sexual encounters, we fall short. Um, I consider myself to have a pretty high desire for sex, and he is definitely the same. The problem is, I can't seem to get into it. So basically, they're having sex. She's not getting off. She goes on to say that at this point, whenever they have sex, it's really just for him because she's not getting anything out of it. Yeah, I'm 50, Edge. um, and she basically wants to know what should she do with this relationship, seeing as she's not sexually satisfied. She's tried to talk to him about it, but
Okay.
whenever she talks to him about it, he gets upset. I guess he feels like his man is being challenged.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to
So,
say the first step would to be have a conversation with him. But I actually kind of had a similar conversation with one of my clients before, recently actually. Um, I don't know. She said she tried everything, and my only advice was like, and I know this sounds crazy because y'all know I love being monogamous.
I
But
like where
I'm
this
like,
is going.
maybe okay, so I guess the biggest question is he inexperienced? How many partners has he had in his lifetime?
Oh, thank you. Let me touch on that.
Okay.
She's 20, he's 22. So neither one of them should have a whole lot of damn experience.
Well, I mean, that's the problem. Honestly, I feel like it possibly could just be the fact that um so she's not getting hers off. So I just feel like, all right, I feel like maybe they're both just inexperienced, but this is a little much for me to throw out there, but I'm gonna just throw it out there. I be in control of getting mine because Lord Jesus, I hope ain't nobody in my family watching this. I get on top. So I make sure I'm gonna get mine, okay? I don't know how the rest of y'all be getting y'all, but I'll make sure I get mine. So honestly, I feel like getting on top, I feel like that can really help you control having an orgasm. That's my opinion for a woman. I feel like other women might experience the same thing. I don't know if y'all know that, if y'all haven't. So maybe it's her. Cause sometimes your man is not your man know what he gotta do when it's his turn to get his off. You know, do you know how to get yours off? Cause sometimes it's not your man doing all the work.
I like where this is going.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're right. A lot of women don't realize,
Yeah.
especially at 22.
Mm-hmm.
At 22, 20. Well, she's 20. He's 22. She may not know. Okay, so you got to play a part in the whole, you getting yours, and
Right.
he's not gonna know a whole lot at 22. Like when I was 22, I probably knew more than the average 22-year-old, but I still
Yeah.
learned a lot between 22 and now.
Yeah.
Um, and the reason that he has a problem with her talking to him about it
Mm-hmm.
is because he's still trying to find his manhood, and he feels like his manhood is really trash. He feels like his manhood is being questioned.
Yeah. He's
Um,
probably embarrassed.
so and I hope that you tune in. And if you're not tuning in live, I hope you tune in later on, especially since you asked the damn question. Um, I think that one, you need to start reading up and researching about things that needs to be done to please you, because I don't think that you're at the age where you really know what pleases you yet.
Yeah.
And if you've had men in the past who've pleased you, either they were older guys or they were guys that was just past their time, and they just knew how to please a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not always, and I've been told this on the show. It's not just orally for a woman to be pleased.
No, it's not at all.
And yes, sometimes you like you said, you got to get the hell on top and ride that shit
Yeah. But
till
if
you get
if it's
yours.
and I feel like and if it's something that turns you on enough to make you get to that point to have an orgasm, tell him to do it. Like if it's touching your breast or something like that, tell him to do it so it can get you to that point. But it's like it's kind of like you know, and I'm not saying this is what's happening because I don't know who this person is, but you know, you can't just lay there and expect him to fully know your body if you don't know your own body enough to get yours off, you know.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I that's all I would say is like get on top, girl.
Because at first, when I first read it, the first thing I was thinking was, maybe you just got the wrong guy. But then when I look back at the age, I was like, 20 and 22.
Yeah.
Like, she's probably still exploring herself. She don't even
Yeah.
really know how to get herself off at this
And,
point.
and and honestly, they might be each other's first partners, or they only might have had one partner before that. I don't know, but that's very young. It might just be lack of experience. It might be the fact that y'all need to learn each other's bodies and learn what works for both of y'all. You know, honestly, and another thing is like I don't know if I feel like as long as he can keep his shit up, it's and it's like he can control not nutting before you. I feel like she should be able to get her shit off if
I
she's on
think
top.
that's the important question. Is he just getting off quick and it's done,
Yeah.
or
Like
is
if that's
is
the
he
case
able to
when he
maintain?
yeah, and if that's the case that it's like he can't control, then that's what he needs to learn how to control him not having an orgasm before you.
And
Because
there are
some men might not be able to control it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think we talked about it before. Like some men having what is it? Erectile dysfunction. So it's like you might can't control it, but you being 22, you're young. You possibly as long as your hormones and everything is fine, stop drinking fucking soda and shit. Um, as long as everything good down there, as a man, that's something you do have to learn is to hold it. Now sometimes it might be the point where like, all right, I slipped up, but nigga, you better get the shit up again. Don't
And
let your girl go to bed not satisfied because she going to fuck somebody else.
facts, big facts, major fucking facts.
So,
Um, also, I'll admit, when I was in my like teens, like, and I'm telling on myself on how fucking early I was having sex. When I was in my like
mm-hmm.
mid to late teens,
Mm-hmm.
the woman's moan would make me get off too fucking quick.
Okay.
So I knew that. I realized that shit, and I know this shit's gonna sound crazy to most. It's gonna sound crazy to pretty much everybody. I used to put on headphones and listen to fucking music
What the
so I
fuck
can't
does
hear
that?
her ass. Yo, I'm telling you, I used to
I
because
was like,
I
look,
knew
shut the fuck up.
once I start hearing that shit, and although I want to hear it because it means I'm doing what the fuck I need to do,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like once I hear that shit, I'm like, oh my god, like I can't hold this shit back. So I would throw my motherfucking headphones, listen to music. Sometimes it was hip hop. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But because I wasn't hearing her, I would be able to last a little bit longer. You know, later on
Mm-hmm.
in life, I taught myself other tricks, um, tricks that some guys should teach themselves in ejaculation, not ejaculate, ejaculation
Mm-hmm.
um, is something that you can do, and not only does it make you last longer, but it gives you more fucking energy. Um, so those, you know, tricks you learn tricks down the road. But when I was 20, I was just trying to make it through the session. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to. I ain't wanted to be a heavyweight fight. You know what I'm saying? It's scheduled for 12 rounds. That shit gonna end early. I
Yeah.
was hoping, that I can just make it through.
Yeah. I think in their situation though, I feel like, and I guess this is just to, if any man who's that young is listening, I don't think if your woman comes to you with a concern of how to make y'all sexual relationship better, I don't think you should feel embarrassed or offended. I think you should listen because clearly it's like she wants to make it work,
Right.
because I feel like you would be more upset if she just decided to walk away from you because the sex just continuously was bad, so and vice versa, because a woman could be doing something that a man not like if a woman is giving a man oral sex and she just scraping her damn teeth on your shit, you not gonna speak up. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's good to communicate, if y'all don't like something when it comes to y'all sexual relationship, just so that y'all can make it work, because if not, if you just feel like how dare she say something like that to me, she's gonna women will walk away if they feel sexually frustrated. They
Or
will.
cheat. Or
Yeah.
cheat. They'll
Yeah.
stay and cheat.
Yeah, because it's like sexually frustration. Like men are not the only ones that like y'all have high sex drives. Like you got to think we have menstrual cycles, our hormones go up and down. Women be wanting sex. Women need that release because our bodies go through a lot. So it's like if we're not having that release, just like how y'all feel, y'all go get it from something else. So I just feel like don't get offended when your woman is trying to communicate, ask how can we get this to get better, and vice versa. So y'all can be having the best sex ever and then y'all popping babies out, whatever y'all choose to do.
Right. And I would like to say, or I wish I could say that that's only for young men that get
Yeah.
offended, but it's not. Because some, even older guys have not reached that level of manhood where they can
Hmm.
hear the truth.
Yeah.
And not everybody is sexually compatible. You can find compatibility or you can teach each other compatibility, but that don't mean as soon as you meet somebody, you're gonna be their ultimate sex partner and vice versa.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you sometimes you got to sit down and have a conversation, or and I've put this on I think different social media. Sit back, let her watch a porn, and watch how she gets herself off. Figure out what she does to get herself off because she should know better than anybody else what gets her off. Figure
Yeah.
out what gets her off and mimic that shit. It doesn't take away from your manhood. It basically says I want to make sure that I am pleasing you in all aspects of our relationship.
Yeah.
It's very selfless.
Yeah, and it's like everybody every person that you come in contact with is not gonna be pleased the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have one
Mm-hmm.
female is like you having sex with her and she might like you stroking fast. And then you might have a different woman that be like, no, I like it slow, you know.
Yep.
Or I like, you know, to be kissed and you know, all through my body or whatever the case may be. So I feel like, you know, you can't just think like, oh, it's just one way to it. You gotta learn people's bodies, you know. That to me is how like when y'all study each other, how y'all learn to have like great sex.
Yeah, I definitely when I get with a woman, at least in the beginning stages, I
Hmm.
want to see what she does. And I
Yeah,
listen to her.
yeah,
If she says something to you, she ain't saying nothing to you to hurt your feelings. She's saying some shit to you to help her feeling.
yeah,
Like she's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to help the situation.
yeah,
And women today don't have a problem with fucking cheating. There was a time when women was like, I won't cheat. I'll just fucking, I'll tough this shit out. After we finish, I'll go in the bathroom, rub one out real quick. Women don't have a problem with going, okay, this motherfucker with this bullshit. Everything else is cool. I gotta go call somebody else after we finish because this motherfucker clearly wasn't paying attention to me. Um, the different penises work better for different women.
yeah,
Um, that G spot is usually in the right place, but it's not always in the same place. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Sometimes that G spot is to the side. It's not at the top. Sometimes it's deep within them. So listen to the woman. And for the young lady who sent in, one, I'm glad that you're willing to work on your relationship and not just step out on him. Um, and you may need to have another conversation with him, but when you have the conversation with him, don't point the finger at him because at that point he's going to shut down and he's going to feel like you're touching his manhood at that point.
Yeah,
But just let him know this is how I feel. You know, I am not being satisfied by this, and maybe we can do these different things in order to make this more satisfying. Watch porn together, um, but don't let him think that what he sees in the porn is what really goes on. But people in porn, they're fucking professionals. They do this shit for a living. Have but he has to be open to the conversation, and if he's not, then he, he may not be the one for you, unfortunately. But hopefully, it don't come to that. Hopefully, y'all make it through this, and y'all struggle through this, and y'all make it to the other side. But
yeah, because that's not fair to a woman to just like, and I'm not saying like sex is everything, but to me, it is part of a relationship. And I don't think you should sacrifice, you know, part of being satisfied in your relationship. And especially if he's not willing to try to make it better, you know.
yeah, and I had a I won't say chick, a lady say to me one time that the penetration was just for me. She preferred oral, and I'm like, well, if the penetration is only satisfying me, I can go jack the fuck off. I don't need a fucking second party in the fucking room for that shit.
Yeah,
I can go take care of me. And I guess she felt as if, oh, I'm letting you know. Well, what you're letting me know is we're just not compatible.
hmm,
We're just not going to work because I want a woman to be satisfied the whole way.
yeah,
I don't want a woman that's just going to be satisfied. Oh, okay, well, I ate you, and then you're just going to lay there like a fucking steak. Nah, I don't need a pulse to get off. You know what I'm saying? I
mm,
want a woman with me in the room, but if you're not being satisfied by that shit, then we both need to go find somebody who's gonna satisfy us both ways. Because I'm not satisfied if the woman's not satisfied.
yeah,
And men who pride themselves on sex are not satisfied if the woman's not satisfied through the whole thing.
yeah.
Um, so hopefully it was some help to you. Uh, if it wasn't, reach back out. Let me know. We'll try again. But I think we kind of covered all the damn bases on this one.
Hmm.
Look back at our previous episodes. We got shows that we talk about that. But have the conversation with them.
Yep.
I guess jumping into, and I kind of rolled through this quickly, I guess, but jumping into Self Care September. If you didn't watch last week's show, please go ahead and watch last week's show. We talked about taking care of yourself physically. You know, shout out to Sugarfoot,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram at Sugarfoot. We talked about how not only does she do pedicures for both men and women, but she also focuses on the things that you need to keep up your health because there's certain things, and I learned this last week. And if you want to learn about it, watch last week's show. There's certain things that you need to do because if you don't, it affects your overall health and not just your feet. So
Mm-hmm.
watch
Yep.
last week's show. If you're in the Baltimore area, reach out to us at Sugarfoot on Instagram. I don't know if she takes bookings that way, but
She do.
she might.
I think it's in her bio.
Okay, okay, perfect. So reach
Mm-hmm.
out to her if you're in the Baltimore area. If you're not and you're elsewhere, just find somebody who not just somebody who knows how to do feet. That you can do your own feet, but somebody who knows the health aspects of taking care of your feet. So,
Mm-hmm.
but this week we are going to talk about mental self care, um, and I think that's something that we we all take for granted. We shut down. We if we're going through a bad situation, we just kind of shut down, and we don't become self-reflective. We don't do the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves mentally, especially if you're single. You don't really have anyone there that you can really rely on to talk to you about that. So I'm gonna lean on you a little bit on this because you work hard. So I'm gonna ask you, like, what do you do to keep up your mental self care?
My mental is talk to God. I like to pray. Um, I like to go to the gym. It clears my mind. Like if I'm frustrated or if I had a bad day, it sounds crazy, but like it really does something for my mental being there. Um Other things I do is sometimes like I might take like a bath like with Epsom salt just to try to like relax and some type of essential oils. I got a eucalyptus plant that I put like leaves, eucalyptus leaves I put above the shower so it helps with my anxiety at night. Um, I be taking ashwagandha just to try to like, because I have a lot of stress
Whoa,
and
you said
anxiety.
Wakanda.
Ashwagandha.
Okay. I don't know what that is. So help me out.
Yeah, it's like a supplement. They have gummies too, but it helps you like, this de-stress and kind of just like relax, so your anxiety isn't high. Um Other things I like to do for my mental health is I love taking walks outside, like in nature. Like that is like one of my top tier favorite things to do. Um, but yeah, other than that, like talk to God. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. What about you?
so so for me, music is my detox.
Mhm.
So um, I'll either listen to music or I'll get on my DJ equipment. I'll play around with different things on the DJ equipment, but just to at that moment, I'm I've gotten rid of everything else, and my mind is strictly on the music.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes I go for a walk. I don't do it as often as I should. I was going to the gym for a while, hit the treadmill and listen to music. But mostly what I do is I try to isolate myself from everything else.
Mhm.
And some people really get on me, like they'll be like, "Yo, I text you or I called you and you didn't answer." And for me, I have to disconnect from everybody else.
Right.
The phone is not as important to me if my mind is racing or my mind is in 80 different places, I really can't speak to anybody else because I can't help anybody else if they have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So answering the phone for me is like I'm just gonna answer the phone and tell you, look, I'm not in the mood right now. I can't deal with it. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just not answer the call. Um, but yeah, mostly just music. Music will. I have an ear. I have a certain ear to where I guess as a DJ, anytime I hear a song, I try to find a different beat that can go with it.
Okay.
So when I need to detox, and as a matter of fact, I did it with one of your songs. When I detox, I just I just submerge myself in music, and I try to take the music and break it down
Mm-hmm.
to where the original beat's not there, and I'll start finding beats that'll go with it, whether it be
Yeah.
well-known beats, whether it be beats I found on the internet, and I just do that. Um, but everybody, and if Ange, Nicole, if you're still on, I would definitely like to know what you all do to really address your mental self care.
Yeah. I told you the last time I started therapy. And I think therapy is like good. I did therapy in the past, but it was like for different reasons. Um, but I think therapy or even like just talking to people sometimes can help you because a lot of people, like you said, like you like to isolate. I like to isolate too when I'm going through stuff. But the thing is, it's like it's not always good to like hold everything in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I feel like you gotta release, and I feel like that can help you heal from the things that you know you're struggling with mentally. You know,
Really, Angie? Really, really spend money?
yeah, I like retail therapy too.
For me, spending money doesn't work. I've tried it. If I spend money, it's gonna be on DJ equipment. Probably,
Yeah.
I'll buy something new for my equipment. Um, and you're right. It's not really good to isolate, but for me. I don't like the pity party, so I don't like to really tell a lot of people about my problems.
Hmm.
And people are like, oh well, if you was going through something, why didn't you talk to me? Because you couldn't fix the problem. Like I
Yeah.
can't. Why talk to somebody who can't fix it? Yeah, they can give you some advice. They can tell you what they did when they went through it. But if you're not fixing the problem, once I get off the phone with you, or once I'm done texting you, I'm still going to. Yeah, we got another one with the spending the money. What the heck is with y'all with spending money? But if you're not fixing the problem, you're only going to frustrate me further because
Right.
now I still got the same problem. It's not fixed, and now I got all the shit that you just told me that's on
Right.
my mind.
Yeah.
Um,
I definitely like to isolate too. I can honestly say that. But I feel like when I talk to my clients, because I feel like my clients vent to me a lot, but I also feel like I can vent to them. I feel like even doing the show, I feel like that helps me. And talking to a
yeah,
therapist, it helps like release things that like, you know, might be bothering you. Um, but I do isolate a lot. I do. You know, I hold a lot of stuff in. Um, but I feel like sometimes, not all the times, when you isolate yourself, it can turn into even more of a depression. You know, because you're all
hmm
in your head. You know. Um,
and I'll admit, um, when it when I actually did go to a therapist, and I encourage the black community is the worst with therapy. For some reason, we feel like we can fix everything ourselves, and we can't.
mm,
Um, I thought I thought I had a good handle on things until I spoke to somebody who was a third party. They had no skin in the game. They could only give me their honest professional opinion.
yeah.
Um, and that's when I found out, just being honest, I found out, and I guess we're gonna circle back to the beginning of the show. That's when I found out that just being a man in a relationship doesn't make you the leader of the relationship.
Right.
And my last therapist, Asian lady Miss Kim, she she held back nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, held back absolutely nothing. She allowed me to speak. She allowed me to get everything off my chest. But when it was all said and done, she had no problem with saying, "Yeah, you just full of shit."
Mhm.
Um, this show, like you said, this show, especially with the opinionated women that are on this show with us on a regular basis, y'all help me out. Because sometimes you don't realize that the things that you're going through, you put yourself in that situation, and you'll keep putting yourself in that same situation over and over again.
Right.
Um, so yeah, definitely speaking to somebody, but speaking to the right somebody.
Right.
Um, if you're speaking to somebody who just want to speak to hear themselves speak, it's not going to help you, and it's only going to frustrate you. But if
Yeah.
you can find somebody you can speak to who can give you their honest opinion, not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Miss Kim, shout out. I wish you watched the show, but I'm sure you don't. Asian lady, she told me my shit stink and I needed to clean up my shit before I start pointing the finger at other people. Because, and for me, it was always, if I was going through something, I would self isolate. I would just, okay, well, I don't want to talk to anybody about it, not even if I'm with somebody. I just wanted to just and sit in it.
Mhm.
But it didn't help.
Right.
And like you said, it will push you into a depression because you don't have the answer, and all you're doing is beating yourself up over and over again about the things that you're going through. I
Yeah.
know a lot of women who've done that with relationships. When a relationship breakup, they sit there and, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? Well, it could have been nothing wrong with you, but until you
I'll be
talk to
like, it was
somebody
that
else.
motherfucker. That bitch stupid. He
That
just
sounds
dumb.
like you. That sounds like you.
Dude, I used to be like that though. Like, what? I'm not good enough. Da da da. And I'll be like, no, that bitch is battling demons. The fuck? That shit ain't got shit to do with me.
But we absorb other people's downfalls and we make it our own.
Yeah.
Ladies do it. Men don't really do that shit. Men are usually quicker to go, "Oh, that chick was fucked up. Yo, she crazy. And that's all their friends. Yo, she fucked up." Not
Mm-hmm.
realizing that you was the one fucking up the relationship the whole time.
Yeah, they don't do no self reflecting at all.
Hell no. It took me so many years before I started self reflecting.
Yeah.
And every relationship that I break up from, I self reflect a little bit more. I think I'm as close to perfection as I'm ever going to get at this point because I fucked up enough. And when I'm
Mhm.
done with the relationship, I'm like, you could have done that a little differently. Okay. Oh,
Yeah. That's
flowers
good.
every now and then wasn't a bad request.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I self reflect that much out of each relationship. So I think I'm as perfect as I'm gonna get right now. This is it. Whatever I am right now, pretty much what you're gonna get. But it took so many breakups for me to finally realize, yeah, you don't know everything, dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, sometimes the woman is crazy, but not all the time. Or maybe they're not fully crazy. Some of the things they
Mm-hmm.
asked for was just simple shit.
Yeah.
Um, I've been gifted with the ladies on the show because they don't have no damn problem with telling me that I done fucked up. So y'all are my counselors now.
Yeah.
Angie, Nicole, Bridget,
Yeah.
y'all are my damn counselors now. So I ain't paying y'all, but I'll keep y'all on retainer though.
Yeah.
But so spending works for some. Um, when you spend, so what? How does retail therapy work? That just never worked for me. That just make me broke, and then I'm more depressed because now I ain't got no money for all the shit. Oh yeah, Ray. Oh, absolutely. Um, so how does retail therapy work? When you swipe it, you just feel better. How does that work for
Yeah,
y'all,
just
ladies?
buying yourself stuff. It's not it's something that I have like, I like more now. When I used to smoke and stuff, All I wanted to do, that was my therapy, buying weed and getting high all day. But now that I don't smoke, my outlet is like, oh, let me buy some cute shoes, or let me get something to go with this outfit or something. And it's not to say like you go broke, because you can ball on a budget. Um, yeah, it's I don't know, it's fun putting little outfits together. Angie said, um, but yeah, you still got to be responsible. You can't just be like, oh, just keep talking my credit card. All the
See,
shit I'm
I don't
going
know how
through.
to
Fuck
do I
it.
don't know how to do that shit responsibly. Like retail therapy for me, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I got a couple of $100. And for me, retail therapy, like I said, is buying some more DJ equipment. That's not a
Yeah.
cheap buy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I can
Mhm.
run to Ross and pick up a damn some DJ equipment. So I'm
Yeah.
going on the different places and I'm spending two, three, $400, and then I'm sitting there going,
No.
ah, shit.
See, no.
Like,
Lately, I've been like, I love finding a good sale. I'll go to Ross. I love finding stuff like on the clearance rack. I like thrifting. So it don't always have to be, expensive. I just like trying to put stuff together. But yeah, Angie, you missed the weed era, girl. I was probably a bigger pothead than you.
hey, ain't nothing wrong with putting a little bit in the air sometimes. I drink
Yeah, I'm
to
not knocking
relax.
nobody who does it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm able to retail therapy now. So I don't blow all my motherfucking money on weed. So
Yeah,
that's just me.
I can't even smoke weed no more. If I smoke weed, I'll be in a 10 times worse situation because now I'm sitting there overthinking everything.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like honestly, the one thing I can say I miss about smoking weed, I feel like it helped me tap into my creative side. My whole
mm,
thought process when it comes to being a creative was completely different. That's the one thing that I can say I miss about weed.
yeah, when I used to smoke weed, I would spend the majority of the time while I was high trying to figure out how to get unhigh because I just got too damn high.
Mm-mm.
And I've tried it recently, within the last probably year or so. And at this point, I'm just having out of body experiences when I smoke. It's like fuck. I'm sitting on the ceiling looking at myself, going, "Look at you, dumb motherfucker.
Mm-mm.
Just can't do shit right. Just can't even smoke weed
Yeah.
right. Just." But yeah. Find something that you can do. Hopefully, you don't dabble into major drugs. But
Something safe and
something
responsible.
safe and yeah, there you go. But find something that you can do that can help you mentally detox because we go through we deal with a lot. There's 7 days in a week, 24 hours in a day, and if you're lucky, you only sleep for 8 hours of that day. If you're lucky,
Yeah.
the rest of that time you are wide awake and you're going through some shit of some sort. So find something that you can do to help you mentally detox, and don't just do it for September. We've made this self care September, but don't just do it this month. Make this your learning time. Make this a
Yes.
time that you learn how to do this on a regular basis. Because everything that I'm going to learn from this month, because unlike myself, my co-host, she does take time. Not enough, I don't think, but she takes some time for herself, and
Hmm.
she self cares. So I'm learning from her now. And I'm going to continue to do this month over month. And each week, I'm going to focus on, or a couple of times a week, I'm going to focus on a different part of my self care. So there's 8 pillars of self care. And I'm going to go back to the phone because I can't remember them all. Um, yep. Expecting way too much out of me. So there's 8 pillars of self care.
Hmm.
One is physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, social, recreational, environmental, and then financial. We're gonna say financial for the end of the month. And apparently, with Bridget, Angie, and Nikel, we need to talk about some financial self-care because they like to spend money to make themselves
No,
feel better.
I'm responsible. I'm responsible. I
So
am.
each week for
Bills
the rest of
get
the
paid
month,
first.
we're gonna dabble a little bit into the self-care realm, um, at least for this month. But thanks everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. Thank
Mhm.
y'all, motherfuckers, because without y'all, it's just me and Bridget talking to each other. So glad y'all are here with us. We have had an explosion of new subscribers. So for everybody who recently subscribed, thank you. We appreciate you. Keep telling your friends, tell your neighbors. If you see my car
Share some
driving down the
videos.
street, yes, absolutely. If you see our videos out there, if we post a clip of the video, share it with somebody else, because somebody else might get help. Even if it didn't help you, somebody else might get help from it. So um, we're gonna keep pushing. So thank you to everybody who newly subscribed. It's all with love. And if you're new, if it's the first time you're tuning in, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let us know that what we're doing, that we're not doing it in vain. And we're not just helping each other, but we're helping y'all as well. So if you have any questions that you would like have answered on the show, please feel free. Reach out to me. You can hit me on Facebook, DJ Teflon Don. You can hit the show on Instagram. It's the Threesome Show. So send the questions, and we'll try our best to answer it. And I promise I will try my best not to be an asshole. I will try. But if I am, you got Bridget, so she's gonna give you the real answer, and I might give you the asshole answer. So, but until next week, we love y'all. Be easy, people. Thanks for hanging out with us. Later.